Hey, what's up guys? This is 9Lives coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you 4 different reasons why sniping is broken in Call of Duty World War II. Let's get into it. Okay, so 4 reasons why sniping is broken in Call of Duty World War II. Let's start off with the first reason. The custom reticles do not work on the 4x scope in this game. So you can see I've got the Kar98K here with the 4x scope, and I'm just going to show you my custom class. So this is one just for demonstration purposes. I don't usually use this custom class, but if you go to the reticles with the 4x scope on, you can set it as like the steadfast reticle. That's just the first one that you unlock. And then when you try and aim down sights with that custom class setup, you just see complete black. So obviously it would be nice if the developers find out about this and fix it if they don't already know about it. There'll be other stuff in this video that hopefully they'll be able to fix too. But anyways, let's jump into some public matches and see what it looks like in action. So here's me running around on Gustav's cannon, which is starting to be actually my favorite map in the game. At first, I really hated this map the first couple times I played it because I kept on going up to the cannon and it was just boring. But if you actually do some laps on this map, it's a lot of fun. So here's what it looks like actually sniping people. Obviously, there's no advantage to doing this. It's just stupid, really. Just something to mess around with, I guess. But yeah, hopefully the developers can fix this. You can mess around with it if you want and see if you can get kills with it. It's kind of tricky. Obviously, I cut out all the misses here just so you could see me hitting some shots. But anyways, before we move on to the next point, I just want to say that I found out about this glitch through Iron Shadow 1 on Twitter. He's a viewer of mine that tweeted it to me, and if any of you guys know more glitches like this or things wrong with sniper rifles in this game, tweet it at me or leave a comment in the comment section down below and it might make it into a video. Okay, so let's move on to the second thing that's broken with sniper rifles in Call of Duty World War II. We've got the Kar98K with the iron sights attachment. So I've got my friend CodGameplay here to help me demonstrate. I'm going to take the Kar98K and shoot him in the lower body and kind of in the torso there. And as you can see, it doesn't kill him. It's just going to give me a hit marker. So this is just a Kar98K with the iron sights attachment. I'm going to show you one more time just to show you that it wasn't a fluke or anything like that. So here we go. There's the hit marker. Again, he's alive. He's doing fine. And yeah, the Kar98K with the iron sights doesn't kill in the lower body. So let's switch that to a Kar98K with without the iron sights. So you can see it's an identical class setup, just without the iron sights, and instead I have the full regular scope. Let's try and shoot him in the exact same spot and see what happens. And there you go. As you can see, it's a one-shot kill in the exact same spot. We'll do it one more time to verify, but what you can see from this demonstration is that the iron sights actually reduce the damage of the Kar98K. Very broken if you asked me. All right, so moving on to the next thing that's broken with sniper rifles in this game, it's the scoped basic training. So let's read what it says it's supposed to do. While aiming down sights, have less idle sway and move faster. So obviously, if you snipe in Call of Duty World War II, you're more interested in having less idle sway. The moving faster part doesn't really do anything, but less idle sway is important because there was a sniper nerf a little while back in this game, and I made a video about it if you didn't see it. I'll link it in the top right corner of the screen if you want to learn more. But basically, they added more idle sway to the sniper rifles. So because there's now more idle sway to the sniper rifles, people want to see if they can use an attachment or if they can use a basic training or anything else to reduce idle sway, and that's where scoped comes in. However, after we go through these tests, what you'll see is, unfortunately, you're probably not going to want to use the scoped basic training on your sniper class. So here's what it looks like when I aim down the sights with scoped equipped, and just kind of remember how much idle sway there is. Look at where the target is in relation to my sights kind of swaying around that, and then we'll go through some tests and do some comparisons and see what scoped is actually doing, and then we'll know if it actually makes sense when we hear about people running scoped with ballistic calibration or just scoped by itself. Adam left a comment letting me know about that combination in a previous video. So let's change up the custom class and remove the scoped basic training. I'm just going to switch it to energetic because it really doesn't matter. I just need something that's not supposed to mess with the idle sway at all. And we'll do a split screen setup here to look at what it looks like with scoped versus without scoped. So now that we have no scoped on this class, I'll just aim down sights and you can see what that looks like. And then we'll split screen that. And without scopes in the top left, with scoped is in the bottom right. As you can see, exactly the same idle sway pattern. There's literally no difference between the two. I think it's pretty clear to see. that it's exactly the same thing. You can see that it's not the same clip because in the without scoped clip, there's some random guy shooting in the firing range. So you can tell I'm not bamboozling you guys. This is actually legit. It does literally nothing. Don't use scoped. It's a waste of time. Unless they fix it. Hopefully the developers see this and they fix it. But I mean, for now, yeah, there's really no reason to use scoped. Okay, so the next reason that sniping is broken in Call of Duty World War II has to do with the rapid fire attachment. So this comes from a viewer as well. This is Mutagens. He says that it doesn't really matter whether you use rapid fire or not, because either way, it's going to take 7 seconds for you to unload an extended mag clip on your Kar98K. So I tested this out and it's partially true, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll give you the final verdict at the end, but anyways, let's do this test. Let's see how quickly I can unload the extended mags here. So this is with rapid fire. You've got the timer in the bottom right corner, and there you go. It took 6.857 seconds to unload the extended mag there. Let's do a comparison and see how it stacks up if we do the exact same custom class, but we swap out rapid fire for FMJ instead. Yeah, let's do that. And by the way, before we do this next test, I just want to really quickly mention these videos take a lot longer than a regular video to make. I like to do a lot of analysis and a lot of testing and everything like that. These are coming from a lot of times your guys' feedback that I'm going and doing these tests. So if you could take 2 seconds to leave a like on the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It lets me know that the time spent making these videos is worth it, and it also directly helps the video and my channel grow. A big thank you to everybody who took the time to like the video. Now let's see how long it takes to empty this extended mag without rapid fire. So as you can see there, 7.124 seconds. So if we go ahead and compare that to what we got with rapid fire equipped, that was 6.857 versus now we've got 7.124. So there is a little bit of a difference. Let's do a little bit of math here. So that's 0.267 seconds of a difference between extended mags with and without rapid fire. So that's an average of 0.0381 per shot. Or if we put that into a percentage, that's less than a 4% speed increase provided by rapid fire. So to go back to Mutagen's comment where he said that it's going to be 7 seconds no matter what, whether you have rapid fire or you don't, he was very close. The difference of 4% is basically nothing. And you could argue that it's not worth using rapid fire because 4% might as well be nothing. And like realistically, when is a 4% difference going to even do anything? But if you do have spots for 3 attachments on your primary weapon, I think it might still be worth using because I always like to use extended mags. I always like to use ballistic calibration. I don't think you'll ever see me not using extended mags and ballistic calibration. At least with the current meta of the game where we have this idle sway when you scope in. When the game first came out, I didn't use ballistic calibration because you didn't really need to unless you're hard scoping, unless you're like taking a little bit more time on the shots. But if you're quick scoping, there was never a need for ballistic calibration until after the sniper nerf, which I mentioned earlier. If you want to see that video, by the way, it'll be linked at the end of this one if you want to check out the sniper nerf video and find out what happened there. But I think I'll still continue using rapid fire, even though 4% is, yeah, might as well be nothing. You know, maybe at some point there might be a situation where 4% makes a difference. The chances of that is super low, I know. And I think realistically, if you wanted to be honest with yourself, you could probably get by without using rapid fire and it'd be basically indistinguishable, right? Like, I mean, the difference of that split second between shots is so minuscule that, yeah, I don't think you'd really be missing out if you didn't run rapid fire. So let's talk about everything we learned about in this video as a whole. Starting with the first thing that was broken that I showed you guys, the scope's not working properly when you use it 4 times and then put a custom reticle on it. That's pretty ridiculous. Obviously, the developers are going to be forced to fix that. I don't think we really have to worry about that one. It's just an interesting quirk of, you know, one of the scopes or one of the setups in the game that if you want to, you can try messing around with and see if you can hit a clip with it or something just for like, just to fool around basically. I'm sure they'll fix it pretty soon. I know they have like a pretty long list of things that they need to fix with this game. Maybe the scope's not working properly on the 4 times if you use a custom reticle is not top priority, but I really doubt that it's going to persist for months, especially if they see this video. Like, I don't know if it's a known issue at the moment. I mean, if you want, you guys can tweet this video at Sledgehammer and they can look at this stuff and work on fixing some of these issues that honestly, I don't know if they're looking at any of them right now, but we'll see. Anyways, so that first one though, I think at some point they're gonna figure it out and they're gonna fix it. I mean, I can't imagine it'd be too hard. I don't know anything about programming, but I mean, it seems like a relatively simple issue. Anyway, so the thing about the Kar98K not doing the same amount of damage when you have the iron sights attachment on seems super ridiculous to me. We've seen something similar in previous Call of Duty games. Actually, if you guys played Modern Warfare Remastered, they intentionally made it so that the ACOG scope on the M40A3 increases damage. That was originally a glitch back in Call of Duty 4, but the community wanted the ACOG scope to increase damage to kind of like recreate that unintentional attribute of the ACOG scope in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. If you guys didn't play Modern Warfare Remastered, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but there has been times when attachments change the damage of sniper rifles previously in Call of Duty, and that's happening again here, except it's going in the reverse way. So when you're using the iron sights on the Kar98K, yeah, the damage is reduced. So it seems to me like it's a glitch. I hope it would be a glitch, because right now the iron sights Kar98K is absolutely trash. There's no reason to use an iron sights Kar98K unless you really want to torture yourself. And yeah, it can be fun sometimes to, you know, try to handicap yourself so it's harder to do well. I mean, that's the whole kind of point of sniping. I'm sure if you snipe all the time, you could do much better if you're using like the bar assault rifle. The bar is the best gun in the game, pretty overpowered. Or any other, you know, if any other gun of yours that might be your favorite, the FG42 is pretty good too. So it to some extent it takes that to the next level when you're using the iron sights Kar98K, because it's an extra challenge. But I mean, it's really bad. The amount of people who use the iron sights attachment has got to be so low that it's almost like it's not even in the game, because there's really no good reason to use it. And by the way, I kind of go off here a little bit. If that was a little bit faster, it would have been a nice clip, but yeah, I just missed the quad feed, the rolling quad feed, I think. Anyways, so the point we talked about after that was the fact that the scoped basic training just doesn't work on sniper rifles. So I actually tried to bring this up to the developers. I've never talked to them before. I don't really, like, you know, some Call of Duty YouTubers actually talk to the developers and stuff. I have no contact with them. I tweeted it at them though, and I didn't get any response yet. So I actually am not sure if scoped is not supposed to work with snipers and they just don't say anything about that, or it's actually glitched. I'm hoping it's glitched, because it seems a little bit weird if they would single out snipers and say, hey, scoped can work on every gun except for snipers, especially because the name of the basic training is scoped, implying that you'd use it if you're using a scope like on a sniper rifle. So I hope that that's also something that they can fix. I would guess that that's probably a really low priority though. Again, they just have, I talked about it in a previous video in my 127 kills on, what map was that? Operation Griffin. I talked about how there's actually quite a lot of issues in the game, and despite all the issues, I actually am enjoying this game a lot. It's definitely my favorite Call of Duty game in years. A lot of issues. The sniper issues are some of the, you know, the most interesting ones to me that I would hope get fixed, like, first and foremost, but obviously snipers are just a little piece of the overall community, so we can't expect like huge priority on any of this stuff. But it's just yeah, I think primed hopefully gets fixed at some point. It's not a huge deal, but it definitely would be nice, especially because they took the time to add a bunch of idle sway to the sniper rifles when you first scope in. So if we have primed and ballistic calibration to, you know, sacrifice a basic training and an attachment spot to try and reduce idle sway, I think, to me, it seems like it'd be reasonable. And then as for the rapid fire attachment doing only like a bit under 4% as an increase to the fire rate, sure, it works kind of, but it's like, I've said it so many times, but it's almost nothing. There's almost no benefit to using rapid fire. So, and like seeing people's comments about it, they like that comment I gave as an example of why I even did the test in the first place, said that it literally doesn't even do anything, or it's 7 seconds either way. Yeah, it's so small that unless you actually like test it and do the timing and everything like I did, nobody would be able to tell that it even does anything. So I think that's kind of ridiculous. There's got to be some sort of impact of having something like rapid fire on the gun that's actually noticeable. Because the only reason to run it now is basically on like the superstition that maybe in some scenario there might be a minute difference of being able to shoot some tiny slice of a second faster, right? So I don't know, 4% kind of seems ridiculous to me, but I would love to hear your guys' opinion. If you can right now, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about these issues. Are there any that you think really aren't examples of snipers being broken? Because to me, I felt like they were all examples of snipers being broken. at least enough that they're worth mentioning, right? Like I don't know how many of them will actually end up being addressed or seen as being worthwhile or worthy of being addressed by the developers. I guess only they can answer that if you guys ask them to give some feedback on this stuff. But like I said, I've tried reaching out to them before. I haven't heard back from them yet. Maybe it'll help if you guys ask them for their opinions on some of this stuff. But ultimately, I would like to see all of this stuff addressed. Again, I'd be interested to hear your feedback. If you guys think all this stuff is worth fixing, I think the most obvious one that nobody can really deny is the ACOG scope, the 4x scope, not being able to use custom reticles and it just showing a completely blank screen. I don't think anybody will be able to debate that. Maybe just because I said it, maybe somebody will try and debate that. But anyways, yeah, would love to hear your feedback. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure that you're subscribed because I'll do more testing and more analysis, and I do sniper gameplays and tutorials and tips and stuff. There's some videos linked on the screen now that you can click and watch if you have some more time to do so. There's the sniper nerf video that I mentioned earlier at the beginning that you might want to check out if you're not aware of the sniper nerf, and there's some other stuff on there too, like a quickscoping tutorial that is definitely worth watching if you want to improve your quickscoping, even if you're pretty good already. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace.